We still continue with the law of tort. This is Dr. Tulipo Mwenfumbo. Today, we are going to look at the categories of torts. So, when we say the tort, it's a word which comes from the Latin word, which means wrong, doing a wrong thing. So, now we are going to look at the categories of doing wrongs. So, when we talk about the categories, there are a lot of categories that are in tort, but I just want to categorize them into four, because the law of tort, it's a subject, or it's a course which cannot be narrowed into a certain grouping, because it is very wide in nature, and anything that happens, or anything that one claims injured, can be categorized in the law of tort. So law of tort is very difficult to be able to say it contains this and this and this and this, because anything can come up and can be included in the law of tort. So it is very difficult to categorize the torts or group them in types. When we say it is very difficult, we are also talking about that, as we know, a tort can be any damage that a part feels his rights has been infringed or has suffered in one way or another. So this makes it difficult, but I have grouped them in four categories. So in the categories that I've grouped, the tort is intentional torts. Then I've put physical harm torts, property torts, and unintentional torts. Now, let's look at intentional torts. The first category that we are going to look at in intentional torts is forced imprisonment. So the forced imprisonment is, we are categorizing it in intentional torts. So in the intentional confinement or restraint of another person without authority or justification, and without that person's consent, constitute forced imprisonment. So this also can be whereby the victim may be strained or confined by physical force, barriers, threats, or physical harm, or the perpetrator forced assertion of legal authority. This can be whereby you are detained for no reason. That can be whereby the police officer detains you, or it can be any other person locks you into the house without your consent or without any justification. That can be forced imprisonment, and you can institute lawsuits which can be called forced imprisonment. The other one, it is on the intentional torts. It is threat of future harm or moral pressure. So there is pressure. There is whereby you are threatening a person, a threat of future harm. You are telling a person on how you are going to harm that person, and that person begins to live in fear. So there is that person, you institute fear in that person, such that the rights are infringed on that person. So that can be considered as a intentional emotional distress. So a person is not obliged to risk danger or an affront to his or her dignity. So whereby you are telling a person, now if this I'll do this, or if you I'll do this, or maybe you are threatening a person of publishing him on the false thing, or to slander his name. So that can also be categorized in the intentional tort. So a person's freedom and rights has to be respected, and any breach can be considered as a harm in tort. The other one in intentional torts, we can look at emotional distress. So this one, when we talk about emotional distress, we are talking about an indignity or an annoyance, rough language, or an occasional inconsiderate or unkind act that constitutes outrageous behavior, creating repeated annoyance or harassment coupled with threats and considered as it is also considered as tort. That is where now you are always speaking bad about a person such that that person suffers emotionally and begin to attribute some emotional distress. So that can be considered as the mental distress. So this can be the examples of the mental distress can be shame, where a person feels shame, humiliated, embarrassed, meant anger, fear, or worry. This constitutes this person, if these emotions get out of hand, this person can sue you for what under the intentional thoughts. Now, this person must prove that those things have happened. So the proofs required for emotional distress should include the proofs. They should include form of physical injury that can be discomfort or illness such as nausea, ulcers, headaches, or miscarriage. So one can sue someone because of having miscarriage, that I had a miscarriage because of the mental distress or because of what happened. For example, this person has been this pregnant woman, she's working. Then the boss fires her for no reasons or for some reasons, any even good reasons. Then after that, she has miscarried. So she can, even if the reason was very good for her to be fired, but if she went under a stress and she has a miscarriage, she can cite the or she can sue her boss for causing that mental distress or emotional distress which has caused miscarriage. So since there is a proof of miscarriage, then she can claim compensation, which is under tort. So these requirements are like for which should be mostly be certified by the doctor that this person is having severe headache, this person has developed ulcers, this person has had miscarriage, or is experiencing nausea because of emotional distress. When the report is given by the doctor, that's when now you can be able to sue and prevail and be able to go ahead with your lawsuit. That can be a proof. But where now there is the reason why they want that, because sometimes a victim may, the victim, or to prevent false claims by victims. There are many other intentional torts that we can give example of. So the others examples of intentional torts may be defective products, like where you have bought something that is defective after eating, then you discover it has some defects, or you find that on the tin it is expired. Then you have some emotional distress. Then there are false pretenses, or someone deceit, someone deceives you. That can also be intentional tort. Defamation of then misinformation, irritating sound, where those we have heard that in the West, you cannot play the music where you are disturbing your neighbors, or you the there is unpleasant smells whereby you cause irritation to somebody, or unpleasant sights or damage to personal property. So all these are intentional thoughts whereby you have to be able to suffer such consequences, and you can be sued for just causing bad smell in the to your neighbors, so they can sue you for that. If anyone is affected, he can be able to sue you. Um, so those are the what is called intentional or thoughts. So the first category, I've said that we have looked at intentional thoughts, and on these intentional thoughts, we have talked about we have talked about forced imprisonment. We have talked about threat of future or moral pressure. We have talked about moral pressure, that is whereby you are telling if uh, maybe somebody did something, then you're saying, I'm going to blackmail you, I'm going to blackmail you. That can be intentional thought. Emotional distress, causing emotional distress, and we have also looked at the proofs on this emotional distress. Then we have also talked about the other examples of intentional thoughts. Thank you so much, and join me in the next class, and God bless you.